All right, guys. So let's go over Ashley's stats real quick, and I'll hand it over to her without too much introduction. But I got to say, I heard Ashley speak on a call that Julie Boris did a couple months ago, and I just loved her energy, and I loved everything that she shared. It was just so real life. Like, it was so many things that I was like, oh my gosh, I've been a coach for 9.5 years. And I'm hearing this, and it's like I'm hearing it for the first time. And like just the way that she worded it, I was like, duh, like everything is clicking so much. And the funny thing is she'll probably realize this as well. Like when we started messaging back and forth for her to speak on this team call, I was like, oh my God, I talked to this girl back in like, what was it, like 2012, like such a long time ago, someone who I completely dropped the ball on, okay? Like you could have been my coach, but I completely dropped the ball on it. And when we were messaging back and forth, I'm like, oh my gosh, this girl's a rock star. So some of her stats, okay? She's a wife. She's a mom of two. She's an elite 2019 coach. You guys, that's a huge accomplishment for her and her team. She is a 5-star diamond in her first business center. She's a 1-star in her second business center. She went from making about SC6, in 2017 with 18 elite points. Okay, so that's a lot of you guys can probably relate to that. Averaging about SC6, and maybe you had a couple elite points last year or whatever, to averaging about SC50 every month. And she ended 2018, so just a couple months ago, with over 350 elite points, you guys. So she went from about SC6 to SC50 in a year. She went from 18 elite points to 350, which means she finished pretty high up in the company at the end of 2018. So if she doesn't know what she's talking about, I don't know who does. Ashley, I'm so excited for you to be able to share your tips with everyone. So I'm going to mute myself and hand it over to you.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. Okay, I have to start by saying, like, this is the biggest honor in the whole world, because like Meg said, I totally have known who Meg was, like, since forever. I found Beachbody workouts in 2008 in an infomercial. Totally fell in love with Turbo Jam. It was just the greatest thing ever. And Janelle is just like, oh, I had a crush on her. And I started following her on social media, and she kept always shouting out this Meg girl. And I was like, who is Meg? And so started following Meg and was like, oh, she's a coach. All these people are coach. So I was following, and now in hindsight, I look back and I'm like, I've been following like 100 superstars for 6 years, and I just had no idea. It's fine. So excited to get to talk to you guys. So I always like to like really dive in on where I was, because I think that helps make a lot of this click better. Oh, it's the internet connection's unstable. My hotspot on my phone. Oh, am I back? I can't see you guys. Oh, Meg, okay, awesome. Okay, good. Okay, so like Meg said, I was barely hitting SC6, and that was a lot of times like don't tell compliance. I was having like family help me because it was the last day of the month, and I was like calling my stepdad or my grandpa or my brother-in-law or my sister or whatever to try to get an extra challenge pack in, because I was only at SC4, and I was always doing the mad dash at the end of the month where you're sending like 500 invites and you're glued to your phone and you're doing all these posts and you're bribing everyone and offering Target gift cards, and I will give you a Camaro if you just buy a friggin' challenge pack, because I've got to hit Success Club. And it was just, and my rank was always stressful. I was a diamond, but everything was just so shaky. And especially on one leg, I would get 3 actives and 1 projected inactive, and then all of a sudden I've got to sign my sister up again, or I've got to sign somebody up again, because I was like at risk for losing my diamond. I never missed Success Club. I'm at Success Club 44 months in a row. But oh my gosh, some of those months were ugly. And I've never dropped lower than my diamond, but some of those months were so ugly. But I never let it slip, because I had the mindset that I was never going to let it slip. But good grief, it was terrible. And I wasn't growing. I was seeing all these coaches. I was going to Summit. I was going to Super Weekend. I was on the team calls. I was on the National Wake Up Call. I was posting. I've never missed a day of posting. Not one. I've never missed a day. Like, I was doing the thing. And my business was not growing the way they say it will. And I just could not figure out what was missing. And I kind of stumbled into One Star because my sister built herself to diamond, had a bigger team than me, had more coaches than me, had more emeralds than me, didn't have to control anything to get there. She just went diamond on her own because she had enough emeralds. And she's in my strong leg. So I wasn't making any volume for anything she was doing. So my income, everyone kept saying, your income goes up when you have people go diamond. No, it didn't, because she was in the wrong leg and everything was going into this mythical bank and nothing was happening because I had nobody else in my team. So I went to my first summit as a diamond, went to my second summit, walked the stage as a 1-star. That felt super fake because, like, I'm only a diamond, or I'm only walking as a 1-star because she has a bigger team than me. And then came home from that summit, and my second summit, when I walked as a 1-star, I was thinking about quitting because I love Beachbody. I love what we do. I love our vital behaviors. I love that they encourage us to be better people. And I love the programs. I believe in Shakeology with my whole heart and soul. I would never want to go another day of my life without Energize. Like, I love what we do. I love all of it, but I just wasn't sure this coaching piece was for me because this is stressful. And I started thinking, if I wasn't a coach anymore, what would change? Well, I would still do my vitals, and I would probably still share like side by sides and sweaty selfies. And, you know, when I accomplish like doing X amount of push-ups on my toes or like things I'm excited about, I will probably still share that, but I would not advertise for challenge groups because this is super, super stressful. And was kind of playing around in the back of my head with the idea of quitting, and hadn't told anybody. And right at that time, the stars aligned, and I had been trying to get my husband to diamonds for quite a while. That was the summit that they announced they were doing a diamond quarterly bonus. And so I was like, I need to get that for my husband. And if I can get my husband to earn the diamond bonus for those 2 quarters that they offer it, and I am technically a diamond when this period starts, so I can double dip on it. And if my sister can get her diamond back because it has slipped, then I can also get the 2-star bonus. So I can like get all of these bonuses if we do all of this right now. So my sister rallied, I rallied to get my husband, and on the last day we went into 2-star qualification for the second time because we had tried a year before, only made it 2 weeks and fell out. And we're going through 2-star qualification, but I'm like empty AF. Like, I have no builders underneath me. My only builder was my sister. And then I have my husband, who's a diamond, with my mom as an emerald, with dad, stepdad. Like, seriously, sketchiest situation ever. But I earned this fabulous retreat because I'm a 2-star and because I rank advanced one past my lifetime rank. My upline's upline, Micah Folsom, who, if you're new or under a rock, she's a rock star. She hosted a retreat that I was invited to. Typically, it's only for her PS, but I was invited to come to this one because I rank advanced. And so I went to this retreat, 39.5 weeks pregnant. I always feel like I'm saying something out of Grinch because we talked about 39.5 foot pole. I went to this retreat 39.5 weeks pregnant. Like, I knew I was 5 days away from having Emma because I was induced. Everything was scheduled. But the retreat house was technically closer to the hospital than my house. And so I decided to go, and my husband thankfully was super encouraging, and he told me to go. And that retreat changed my life. And I want to talk about why. I want to talk about like what magical, mythical thing happened to this retreat that all of a sudden made that 1 degree shift, that all of a sudden everything started going in the right direction. Okay. So first thing, there was a rock star there named Josh Coates. How many of you know who Josh Coates is? Do we have any? Yes, Meg. Okay, a few of you do. Okay, so he is a like mindset coach that works with multi-level marketers, but he started with just Beachbody coaches. So Micah had flown him in to come to this retreat, I had seen him speak at Summit. I had done a couple of his groups. Yay, you're super motivating. I do your group. I never went past SC6. So clearly this crap doesn't work and I can't afford to pay for you. So, but Micah flies him into this retreat and we're all sitting down and we did this activity as a circle of, there were probably like 20 of us that he asked us 3 questions and we had to answer them out loud. So for 20 girls to answer 3 questions through the tears and the emotions and the talking through everything, it took 8 hours and we were up till like 3 in the morning. And that night changed my life. So we'll talk about the 3 questions he asked. Okay. So, and I want you to like, the best way to get something out of this is to like follow along and actually answer in your head. So, like, okay, how would I respond if someone asked me that face to face? Okay. Number 1, I want you to describe your like dream life. Okay. So where do you, and he said like 10 years from now, but, which I do think that's important to look at 10 years and 5 years, but I think you need to look at like a year from now, 6 months from now, 3 months from now. Like there needs to be something that like we can push for soon. So, like what kind of car do you drive? Where do you live? What time do you wake up? What do you spend your day doing? What does your body look like? What do you eat? When do you eat? Who do you eat with? Where do you eat? What do you spend your day doing? How much money do you have in the bank? What kind of clothes do you wear? I think I probably already said that one. Like specific detail, okay? And I was that person that my upline teases me about this so bad. I was that person that was like, my life would look the same. Like, I like my house. I like my cars. I like my clothes. I like my family. I don't really think anything would change, but my husband would work somewhere else because he was working construction. He lived in another state for the entire summer, was never home. I felt like a single mom that had these massive paychecks coming in because my husband was making incredible money, but we never saw him. And for me, my love language is time. And I wanted a marriage. I wanted my kids to see their dad. And I did not like that I was saying yes to sleeping alone and sleeping next to a loaded gun because my husband was gone so that we could have money. And so I vividly remember the only thing I said I would change was my husband's job, and that he would work somewhere he enjoyed, probably in the gun industry, most likely a police officer. But because he's just super into the police life. Like that is his hobby. He literally does it for fun, for free. And so, but everybody goes around the room. They're saying all these things. And I'm like, okay, cool. We're hearing everybody's goals and visions and dreams and like, whatever. I would change my husband's job. Okay. Question number 2. Why can't you do it? And the first ugly little voice you hear, it's usually quiet. If you're anything like me, it's quiet. It's the first one. And then you hear louder ones on top of it, which those matter too. Acknowledge those too. But the first little like, nope, you can't do that because of this. And then Josh was like, okay, now I want you to say it out loud to me. We're going to talk it through. And I'm like, oh, Josh, I've had like 19 come to mind. And I'm only supposed to say 1. So I can't grow in this business because I don't have enough time. Like I'm not good enough with my time. Number 1, I'm not organized enough. And number 2, like along the timelines, it's really important to me that I be fully present with my kids. I had a 3-year-old and was 5 days away from having a baby and did not want to have someone come in and help me. And so I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this because everyone who's successful has help. And I will never be successful unless I hire a nanny. And I can't do this because I'm not a good leader. I can't do this because I'm struggling to sell challenge packs. How am I going to make enough money to bring my husband home? I can't hit Success Club by myself. Like, and I'm barely holding on to this. This is the fakest two-star in the universe. But I've earned this mythical magical retreat. Like, and I kept going, that I don't look like a a 15-star or an elite coach or like someone successful. I don't look like Lindsay Matway. I don't look like whatever. And I just made this huge, mean list in my head of all the reasons why I can't do this. And that day was the first time I realized how much I was telling myself, I can't do this. This isn't for me. I'm not going to be good at this. I can't do this. Other people can do it better. Da, 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 da. And my brain found all the proof for why that was accurate. And so he starts going around the room. And the first girl said something about, well, I'm not a good leader. And I was like, ooh, that was one I wrote down. I'm going to write down what he said, because he said, oh, I'm going to write down everything he said. So he started like asking her questions about like, okay, tell me why you're not a good leader. And she was like, well, because I sign people up and like, they don't rank advance. And then they quit. I get discount, or like I get cancellation notices and they quit. And like, I'm just doing something wrong because I sign people up and they like, it's not even that they don't go diamond, like they never even go emerald, or they'll hit Success Club once and then they never hit Success Club again. And like, I'm a bad leader, because if I was a bad leader, if I was a better leader, I would be like Micah and I would have 30, 40, 50, 60 diamonds. Like, and I can't even make anyone go emerald. I'm a bad leader. And he was like, Kate, I want you to show me the post on Facebook where you said, hey, come sign up with me. It's going to be so great. I'm going to come over to your house and I'm going to put my hands on your hands and I'm going to help you do your power hour. And then I'm going to hold your hand while we check your back office. And then I'm going to send you exact wording and list of who to invite. And I'm going to clear your schedule for you. I'm going to do this for you. It's going to be great. I am going to make you be successful. You never said that. You never said that. You told people you would give them the tools and the resources and you would be there to support them and encourage them and love them and empower them, but you would not do it for them. And the fact that they are choosing to not use the tools is a reflection on them, not you. You are a good leader. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's right. I never said that. I never said that I would tell people like I would hold their hands while they do it. I just told them I would give them the tools. And I know these tools work because these tools got me to diamond. These tools got my coach to 6-star. These tools got her coach to double superstar. These tools work. They have access to a rock star, which AKA, if you're watching this, you can say the same thing because you have access to Meg. So there are resources, and if your people choose not to use them, that is their fault, not yours. So then, and my brain's exploding. So then he's like, okay, so number one, we found the limiting belief. I'm not a good leader. Number two, we walked through the limiting belief to see it is not logical. We like talked it out clearly. This isn't logical to think this, okay? Step three is you retrain your thought, because your brain, if you think about look for red, look at around the room. If you're looking around the room, I want you to look for everything you can that's red. Okay, how many things did you see that are blue? Well, none. You weren't looking for blue, you were looking for red. That is exactly what your brain is doing with limiting beliefs. Your brain has found a story that you are a bad leader, and it is looking for proof. Oh, see, Jessica ranked advanced in Emerald today. How come I can't do that? Oh my gosh, Emily went 3-star today. How come I can't do that? Oh, so-and-so got shouted out today on the National Wake Up Call because their second PVC went diamond. How come I can't do that? Your brain is looking for proof that this story is accurate, that you are a bad leader. And what you're doing with affirmations is you are rewriting the story and telling your brain the new story. So I'm a big believer in affirmations that I don't do like, I am a 15-star. No, I'm not. I am in the Million Club. No, I'm not. I am top 10, number 1, Ashley McClellan. No, I'm not. Okay, those are lies. Affirmations are not lies. Affirmations are you telling your brain what to look for. So on the leader train, affirmation that Josh gave me, because all my favorite affirmations came from Josh. I find coaches who are just as passionate about the business as I am. That hurt to say for like a couple weeks, because I only did my power hour on the last day of the month. And then like maybe once or twice throughout the month. And I was posting, but people weren't coming to me. So apparently I'm not good at this coach thing. And I'm doing my connections because I wish people happy birthday. And I watched stories for 6 hours today. I'm doing all the, no. I was not passionate about my business. I did not wake up like exploding with joy and gratitude that it is my job to be my best self and to find other people who want to be their best selves too. That is our job. Our job is to help people have better marriages because they're more confident, to be better parents, to be better spouses, to be better examples, to overcome depression and anxiety and get through struggles with miscarriage and infertility and to find joy in their life. That is our job. And like, but I can't ever find it. No, I was not passionate about what I do. And you better believe I am very passionate about what I do now, because I started telling myself, I'm going to find, except I didn't say it like that. I find coaches who are just as passionate about the business as I am. And that tells my brain, okay, well, we better become passionate if we want to find someone like, because we don't want to find someone like you right now. So you better do something about this, girlfriend. Okay. Another one he gave me. When I get fired up, I totally forget my affirmations. So even though I've said them every day for like 16 months, hold on one second. I have another really good leader one that he gave me that I really, really, really like. I already said that one. Okay, that's the other one. Because that's my other thing about affirmations. Tie the word because into them, okay? Because I am confident and have positive energy, I find coaches who are also confident and have positive energy, okay? So you don't have to use the same words if those aren't like traits you're looking for in coaches. But if you're looking for coaches who are consistent and hardworking, okay, let's do some reflection. Let's tell ourselves, because I'm consistent and hardworking, I find coaches who are also consistent and hardworking. That tells your brain, okay, well, we better work on being positive and having good energy if we want to find people like that. And so I came home and within a week felt like a different person. I had a brand new baby, and I was doing hours of PD because my brain was like, holy crap, this feels awesome. Because I'm confident and have positive energy. I find coaches who are confident and have positive energy. I was literally in the hospital getting my epidural, getting messages from people asking me about coaching. Hey, I know you're busy, so you can message me in a couple of days, but can I? And I'm like, Jake, I have like 8 people asking me about a challenge pack, and I'm literally about to give birth. Like, this is amazing. And because my energy is a thing. People can feel it. People want it. And when you exude it, it is a magnet. One of my affirmations, I could go on affirmations like train all night because they're my thing. One of my affirmations I added just recently is that I find what I look for in life, and I am a magnet for everything fantastic. And I believe that. I believe that everything fantastic in this world just magnetizes itself to me, and I just effortlessly attract all of it because I look for it. That is a way you train your brain, and the way you train your brain is to figure out the obstacles that are in your way and then talk them through logically and then make an affirmation that counteracts them. So as we went around the room, I had pages of notes because every single limiting belief that came up was one I was struggling with. And I was like, oh my gosh, number one, I'm not alone because we all have very similar limiting beliefs. But all my limiting beliefs about my challengers don't stick around, which hashtag affirmation for your challengers don't stick around. I keep finding, you have to put the keyword in, I keep finding amazing, inspiring people who want to stick around. Trains your brain to not look for everyone who sends a cancellation, not look for everyone who's projected inactive because they postpone their psychology. That trains your brain to look for who's showing up in your group, who is getting results, who is interacting in the group, who is interacting in the team page, who is doing this. It trains your brain to look for, because I keep finding amazing, inspiring people who want to stick around. Like I said, I had no builders when I went to this retreat, and I finished in the top 100 last year of an elite team. And that is because I started looking for people in my team who were doing things right, rather than focusing everyone on my team that was doing things wrong. And that is, again, it's a way to train your brain, okay? So that second question changed my life, because, and I seriously, hands cramped. I was like, I got to the point I couldn't write fast enough. I started recording videos of what he was saying, because I was like, oh my gosh, like I just need this whole 7 hours thing recorded, because everything that was coming out was my brain. Everyone had the same negative, ugly voices in their head. And he was saying how to get them out. And I listened. That I've had so many girls at that retreat. They're like, I don't get it. I was in the same room as you. How come your life changed and mine didn't? And I really think it's just because I just decided to trust him. I decided to say, you know what, let's try telling my brain a different story, because that affirmation actually sounded pretty good. So maybe I should try saying that and see what happens. So that was question number 2. That was so all over the place. Okay. Number 3, the third question that he said, and this is the big one, because you can get so fired up and you can be like, yes, I'm going to find my limiting beliefs. I'm going to talk them through. I'm going to make affirmations like so much yes. But I still don't have any coaches. I still am not an elite coach. I still don't make any money. My husband still works at this job that sucks. Like, okay, now what? So then the third question is, what's the action plan? What's the near goal? Which he says end of year goal, which, so for you guys, it's not the end of the year. For you guys, what's your summit goal? Where are you going to be by summit? And what is not just, and this is the thing, it cannot be, I'm going to be a 5-star. I'm going to be elite. I'm going to be making $10,000 a minute. It can't be that. You have to tie it, or at least for me, you have to tie it to something. So I started thinking, you know what, if we could make $5,000 a month with Beachbody, which was like so stupid, it was like never is going to happen, that maybe Jake could quit his job. And because he could get a new job, and even if he takes a big pay cut, if I'm making $5,000, we could totally do it. So I started waking up every day, sitting at my kitchen table and closing my eyes and just thinking, okay, what's it going to be like to wake up and open my eyes in the morning and I am laying next to my husband, not a loaded gun. And he is there to help us breakfast, and he's home for dinner, and he's home for baths and bedtime. And then at night we can watch TV together and we can talk. And I'm not FaceTiming him. I'm not having him grow up watching his children through pictures because he's in another state. What will that feel like? And then I would work, and then I would do my connections, and then I would do my invites, and then I would do my power hour, then I would do my PD, I would do my workout, I would interact in my group, I would do the things you know to do. You know what to do. But I would go into it with the, okay, this is why I'm doing it. I am doing it because I'm bringing Jake home, so I don't have to sleep next to a gun anymore. I'm going to bring Jake home. And I hit that 5,000, super crazy, never going to happen, 3 months. 3 months after Emma was born. She was 3 months old, and I hit it. And I was like, holy freaking what? Now what are we going to do? And so then it took me a minute to figure out my next thing. But then I started thinking, you know what? My little girl really wants to go to Disneyland for her birthday, and she's going to turn 5. And the week of her birthday is the week they call to say you're elite. What if I get the elite call in Disneyland with my rose gold Disney ears and the smell of churros and the Disney music and the castle is behind me? What if they call to say I hit elite in Disneyland? And so I woke up every day and pictured those rose gold ears standing in front of the castle with my kids and the Disney balloon with Mickey inside it that's pink, and that what the shirt would say, what my kids' shirts would say, and what the smells, what time of day it is, how the sun feels. Like, I visualized what it would feel like. I did not visualize walking across the stage elite. I'm super excited for that. I'm super excited for that. I visualized what it would mean for my family, because if I could get enough people in my team to believe in me, to believe in us, to believe in this, to do this with me, I could make enough money to pay to take my family to Disneyland. We could do, like, I could pay for this. Like, this could change my family's life. And so, and I could take my daughter to Disneyland for her birthday. And so I told my family that this was the goal. So when my little girl would come up to me and, Mom, will you play Barbies with me? Hold on one sec. Mom's finishing her work because Mom really wants to take you to Disneyland. So can you go play for just a minute? Mom's going to finish her work because remember, Mom's working for Disneyland. And she thought Brittany Adamson from corporate worked for Disneyland, because every time I was doing calls with Brittany, she knew that that was the Disneyland girl. And she knew Josh was the Disneyland guy, that Josh was going to help us go to Disneyland when she saw me doing calls with Josh, because she understood Mom is working to take us to Disneyland. And it happened. It happened. We did it. I got to Disney Call with the rose gold ears and they're right across from my desk. Every time I worked, they're right there. And then my husband went and had a custom hat, the Disney whatever thing embroidered on the back that says Elite 2019 on it the day I got the call. And it's right next to my ears. And I came home and my little girl asked me the other day, Mom, now what are you going to work for? Now we went to Disneyland. Now how come you're still working? Now we're working for a yard. And I can picture the fire pit and the hammock and the deck and the furniture and the fence and the dogs running around and the little tiki torches. And we're playing country music out of like a sound speaker thing while we're barbecuing, and the kids are playing in this big playhouse. Like, I can see it. And we have a date for when we're going to get our yard done and when I'm going to pay for it. And like, you have to know why you want these things. You have to know what that number one goal, that like, what does your life look like? Beachbody can get you there. I promise Beachbody can get you there. You guys know this. You guys know that Meg is like amazing. Meg's income is amazing. I can't even imagine what Meg's income is. Like, you guys, like, Beachbody can get you to the life of your dreams if you can remember why you want to get there. And the way you get there is the ugly, totally unsexy stuff of doing your power hour every day. Connections, invites, posting, stories, all that stuff. The more you can do that stuff consistently, it gets you there. And when your energy is right, because you're telling yourself, I can do this. I find coaches who are just as passionate about the business as I am. So I'm going to send these coaching invites because I'm going to find coaches who are just as passionate about the business as me, rather than I'm going to send these invites because Meg said I have to, but everybody's going to say no. So, but I'm going to send them because she said I have to send them. And when I tell her at the end of the month that I barely hit Success Club and I'm barely holding on to my rank, I have to tell her I did everything I could. So I'm going to send them. Your energy is totally different. You have to know like why you're doing this and what it's going to mean for your family, what it's going to mean for you, what it's going to feel like, what it's going to look like, and when you're going to do it with this specific date, so that you feel a sense of urgency, so that today matters, so that you show up today, so that you choose not to watch Netflix, so that you can do personal development instead, so you can send extra invites because you're super excited about the group you have coming up, so that you can make sure you reply to all your messages before you go to bed. You find it creates a sense of urgency, because the thing that you can see, you can feel it, you can touch it, that you want it so bad that you know it is coming. It is not some like 20 years from now, I want to live in a 75,000 square foot mansion that is the equivalent of the White House. Like, no. We need soon, like something soon that you want, that you are willing to work your freaking butt off to get, because that is what puts the fire in that will make you show up every day. So those are the 3 things Josh asked us that I came home from the retreat and I implemented them. And it changed my life. It changed my life because I figured out what I wanted and what was in my way and why I was willing to push hard every single day to get it. So I totally ignored all the comments. I will go look at them super fast. But I love questions. If you guys have questions, I love questions.
I am in love with you. Like, I'm like over here. You guys, I've been a coach for 9.5 years, and I was like, yes, like this was amazing. Not only do I love your energy, like Are you on Energize or something? Because
No, I'm totally not. I haven't had any in a few hours.
Oh my God. But like, I don't know if I'll be able to go to sleep after this call. I don't know about you guys, but I see the comments going through that people are crying, laughing, loving you. Just being able to relate to everything that you said, because I love how real you were at the beginning, because I think probably every single person on this call could relate to times in your business where you felt like a fraud. And when you feel like you're just going through the motions. And if you're just going through the motions, you guys, you're not going to stick around. And if you're not going to stick around, then you're not going to have this business change your life the way that it has for Ashley, the way that it has for me. And I wish I could tell you guys that you're not going to have those periods again in your business where you're going to have those moments where you have to refocus your brain and refocus your mindset. But just know it happens, and remember this call, and remember to go back to those questions, and to remember to have those, those things that you're focusing on, visualizing that you're going to achieve with this business, not just the ranks, but what it's going to do for you and for your family and for your team. So amazing. Guys, do we have any questions? I just see everyone talking about how much they love you and crying. Okay, so one thing I was struggling with today was sending invites right to the coaching opportunity / sneak peek versus sending invites to my challenge group. So do you have a specific way that you go about doing your invites every single day? I mean, I love your posts. I love how real that you are, and I'm sure your invites are just the same way, so I'd love to hear that as well.
So I am a big fan of inviting to challenge groups, because I think that's what made me fall in love with the business. That's why I even wanted to do this, is I fell in love with the programs. And so I am a big inviter to challenge groups. And I call my boot camps, and I still follow Josh's system. So if you guys have done Josh's groups before, he only has you do 20 connections and 10 invites a day, which some of you might be like, holy crap, 10 invites, that's a lot. But some of these top coaches that are coming out now are doing like 792 invites a day. That I'm like, I would always die. So I only do 10. Invites are still I work on my mindset about them. Because invites are not scary. Ashley, you can do invites. So I only send 10 invites a day. So I send invites to my challenge group. And I really focus on making sure they love my challenge group, on creating really good resources. And we do a weekly boot camp call that's like a team call, but it's for my challengers, talking about different areas with nutrition, because I feel like the app, I do all my groups in the app. I feel like the app really helps with like making them understand the importance of being consistent with their workouts and their shake, but it doesn't necessarily help with the nutrition piece. Because there's not a place to mark off like, yes, I did all the things to make tomorrow a weight loss day, because I'm a big fan of 2B mindset. So we do boot camp calls. I create like PDFs to go along with our prep week, and we like whatever. I do everything I can to make my group like killer. And then I check in with them, obviously like whatever they're doing, check in with them like after a week. Hey, how's everything going? Oh, it's going fabulous. I love it. I'm down 6 pounds. This is the best thing ever. I'm like, great. I'm so glad. That's awesome. Check in 1 week later. Hey, how's everything going? Oh my God, it's going so great. I'm down 8 pounds. Awesome. Girlfriend, have you ever thought about doing what I'm doing? Or doing this with me? Because you're totally killing it in the group. You're loving it. We do PD in my group. So they are literally doing the vital behaviors. They're connecting with each other. A lot of them are posting about what they're doing because they feel so awesome. They're getting results. They're being a product of the product, and they're doing PD. They are doing the vitals. And so I'm like, girlfriend, you are totally doing what I do. And I sign almost everybody up as a discount coach. So then I can say like, and you're already signed up to do it. So it's not even going to cost you anything. Do you want to be added to the sneak peek, and you can learn more about how it works? And I have like a 98% actually, yes, I would like to learn some more information. That does not mean every single one of them decides to do the business. That does not mean every single one of them goes Emerald. That doesn't mean every single one of them starts hitting SC 7000, but they are like, you know what, actually I have thought about it. So I don't invite like, hey, you're watching my stories. Do you want to come do the business with me? I don't do that. I invite everyone. If you're watching my stories, if you're doing anything, you're going to get an invite to my boot camp. Everybody gets invited to my boot camp. And once they're in, I am grooming them to be my coaches. So everything in my boot camp is very focused around coach activities so that it shows me who would be a good coach. And then, yeah, okay. Challenge your PDFs. Yes, if I can get organized enough to gather them. They're super basic though. It's because I'm like working on my graphic skills. I have one that I need to remake because it's super not pretty. That's a ton of Shakeology recipes that I found on Pinterest. It's literally like pasted pictures into a PDF of Shakeology recipes. Because if I hear one more person say they're trying to make Shakeology with water, I'm like, no, duh, you don't like it. You have to mix it with stuff. There's a Shakeology one in there. There's a recipe, like a PDF of my family's favorite recipes. So they have like go-to, tried and true, husband and kid approved recipes. So, and they have the container count listed at the bottom because I made it a couple years ago before I was doing 2B. And then I have like a prep packet that just goes along with my prep week. So in my prep week, we talk about affirmations. We talk about making a vision board so they know why they want to do this and why they're going to show up when it gets hard. And we talk about Darren Daily. Darren Hardy is the author of Compound Effects. I encourage all of them to get signed up for Darren Daily. It's free text messages you receive every day with a 3 to 5 minute motivational video. So it's like free PD that they get every day that comes right to their phone. That's part of the prep packet. So, and then it talks about like, make sure you take your measurements and here's how to access Beachbody on demand. And it's all that stuff's in the prep packet. And that's like it. That's all I have in my PDF. And then I have a PDF of my favorite PD books. So they know which PD books to recommend or which one to do, which I always recommend, like Girl Wash Your Face or Compound Effect, or I'm trying to think what are some. Mastering Your Mean Girl is another one that we talk about a lot. But sometimes we'll do like a theme for the month that like, okay, everybody is going to do Miracle Morning. Everybody's going to do On Fire from John O'Leary. That is one of my favorite books ever. I still haven't got them to do Unf Yourself from Gary John Bishop. That is my favorite PD book in the world. But I've started noticing the thing about PD. PD is personal. Just because I love a book doesn't mean you love a book. Just because I love a book doesn't mean my challengers are going to love a book or mean it's right for them. So I've kind of steered away from doing like a book of the month where everybody has to read the same book and more encouraging them to do something that's right for something they're struggling with because they know that better than me. And so I have a list of my favorites. I tell them if they ever want to pick my brain, they can message me and I'd love to give them recommendations. But I encourage them to do something so that they're bettering their mindset, not just their body, because that's one of my big things we talk about in the groups is we're gonna make sure we're not eating rabbit food. We're gonna eat food we like, and we're gonna get results while we do it. We're gonna eat the same food as our family because nobody has time to cook 2 meals. You're not gonna work out longer than an hour a day, and you're gonna do it from home, and you're gonna work on your mindset, not just your body. We're not just losing pant sizes because the person on the inside needs to match the person on the outside. And there's a really good quote from Tara Leba. I don't know what her name is. The girl that wrote Girl Code. She has a book called like She Owns the Place. It's about confidence. It is killer if you struggle with confidence. Hi, Kalani. I'm almost done. Okay. Am I being loud? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. I'll come down in a second. The dog just made a big mess. Come here, Lonnie. I just totally lost my train of thought. Kara has a quote about I spend a hell of a lot more time working on the inside than I do on the outside. And that's why I'm so confident. And that is the main thing I teach the girls in my group. Confidence does not come from what you look like on the outside. Confidence comes from how you feel on the inside. And that's why we do so much PD. And PD is built into the daily posts. We do motivational videos and stuff like that, probably 3 to 4 times a week. They are getting flooded with PD if they are interacting in my group. That is like one of the main focuses of the group is PD. Okay. Daily schedule. I'm a big fan of Miracle Morning. So I wake up pretty early. I wake up at 6 and do like affirmations and a little bit of PD and plan out my day. I work out and then do a little bit more PD reading and scriptures, and then get my kids ready for the day, get my little girl off to school. If it's a preschool day, everybody has breakfast, I shower and get ready. And then a lot of times I have calls in the morning just because of how like my corporate call works or the national wake up call. It always makes it so I usually have a call in the morning. And then so I just kind of have it going while I'm mom lifing and, you know, picking up stuff and doing laundry and whatever. As soon as, and I go get my oldest from preschool, and then she will play and my baby will nap. And in that 2-hour window is when I get all my work done. So that's when connections, invites, cleaning out my inbox, planning posts, all that stuff happens, is when my little girl, she's 16, 17 months now, when she's napping, everything gets done in that window. And then when she wakes up, we have lunch, and a lot of times she and my oldest will kind of play together. And if I have more stuff I'll need to do while they're playing, I will get more stuff done. But typically, this is actually something new we're implementing. When my husband comes home, I like do nothing. The only things I ever do at night is if I'm guest speaking for another team. I never ever do my own team calls at night. I don't work at night at all. My husband walks in the door and everything gets put down until the next day when I wake up to do it again. So, yes, I sign everybody as a discount coach. So when someone messages me, asks for info, we go back and forth. I send them the info about how the group works, which I record YouTube videos explaining how my group works. So that's what I send. And then they say, yes, I want to do it. What now? And I say, okay, awesome. I need your email address and the flavor of Shakeology you want. Here's the 9 flavors. My favorite's chocolate vegan. Which one do you want to try? And they say, I want to try chocolate vegan too. And my email address is susieq@gmail.com. And then I message them back and say, okay, awesome. Last question. There's 2 different ways we can sign you up. Highly recommend we start you out as a coach from the beginning, mainly because it sets you up to get a discount next month on your Shakeology. It doesn't cost you anything extra today. It's going to save you a minimum of $20 next month. And if you end up deciding you don't like Shakeology, all we do is send an email to cancel. So it just sets you up so that you are saving money for future months in the boot camp. Do you want to get set up that way? So and it's probably a 98% yes rating on that. I sign almost everyone as a coach. And then, like I said, 2-3 weeks into the boot camp is when I bring up the business. So that's where almost every single builder I have came from, is they started as a discount coach because they signed up as a discount coach at the same time and decided they wanted to do the business because they fell in love with the group and I invited them. Oh my gosh, no, I cannot believe you like tropical Shakeology with water. I think I would rather eat my shoe. I can do that with cafe latte. That's it. Top tip to keep up engagement and interaction in your challenge group. To tell yourself that you keep finding amazing, inspiring people who want to stick around, because you're training your brain to look for people who stick around, not looking for how many people are in the group and they don't interact. You have to train your brain to look for how many people are interacting. So, because I mean, I don't have, considering how many people are in my group, I don't have that level of engagement. But I try really, I mean, I'm not perfect at this. Like Meg said, just because you find a limiting belief once doesn't mean you don't have to go find it again or remind yourself how to get over it or whatever. But I have to constantly remind myself that I need to look for the people who are showing up. And I have a leaderboard. I do a leaderboard once a week in my challenge group based off of logging their workouts or logging their Shakeology. And if they logged 7 Shakeologies or 6 workouts or higher, they're entered into a drawing for a decal for their shaker cup. And it cost me like $4 to send. And it's not a big deal, but they love earning them, and they work really, really hard to make sure they get 7 Shakeologies or 6 or higher workouts because they want to be entered into the drawing, and they love seeing their name on the leaderboard. I mean, we're the same way. We love seeing our name on the Success Club leaderboards. We love being recognized. It makes sense that our challengers would like it too. So I just started implementing that in December, and my girls have loved it. And the My Challenge Tracker app makes it super easy because it counts for you. So I don't even have to do anything. It counts for me. So that's, look for the people who are interacting, not look for the people who are not, and find ways to recognize them when they are interacting so that they understand they should be doing it more. I think I might be frozen again. With your challenge group invites, where do they come from? Do they post new followers? What do you normally say is the first invite? So I invite if they like a post, which I'm not very good at keeping track of, like, oh, this person has been following me since September. Now I can invite them. I'm not good at that. If they like a post, I'm going to send them an invite. And if they're watching my stories, they have intentionally invited themselves into my life. And my stories are very clear. I am a health and fitness coach. I do a weigh-in post every single morning. I do my workout clips every single day. I talk about a product at least once, whether it's workouts or whether it's Energize or Shakeology or Recover or the bars, some sort of product get brought up every day. I show my food every single day so they see I'm eating normal food. And I talk about what I do as a coach, that I'm sitting down to do my work, that I'm opening to, like, I talk about coaching in some way. So if someone is consistently watching my stories, they are well aware I am a coach. And those are the people I invite, whether I've talked to them or not, because we have a relationship, because they're watching my life. They know me. And the invite says something about, hey, I noticed you've been watching my stories. Can't tell you how much it helps, or it can be hard to be vulnerable, but I can't tell you how much it helps to have amazing, supportive people in my life. So thank you. Were you interested in joining my nutrition boot camp? Or were you just being an awesome cheerleader in my life? Either way, I see you and I mega appreciate the support. So thank you. And it has like a unicorn emoji and a sparkle and a heart and the hand clappy guy and like all the emojis that are happy and fun. And I send that. And I have like I don't know why I keep saying all the percentages. I have a real good percentage that they'll reply. That doesn't mean they all say yes. That doesn't mean they're all ready to do it right now, but they don't ignore me. They reply back. And then when someone magically wants information 2-3 months from now, it's those people. So you're planting the seeds for what you want to have happen in your business 3 months from now. And I mean, I'm definitely feeling that because I was going crazy in November and December, because the Transform 20 was about to launch and I was in the test group. And so I was like inviting like mad before the launch. And then at the end of December, I was inviting like crazy because of the New Year's rush. And I am feeling that now. That hard work 2-3 months ago pays off later. So if you go crazy over the next 2 weeks and you're super mad they don't all say yes, wait and see what happens in 2 to 3 months. And you got to give stuff 2 to 3 months of consistently showing up. And it's not our job to, it's our job to be here when someone's ready, not for them to be ready when we need them to buy. And so when someone is ready to do this, you need to still be around. And that's why we don't talk about just be here in a year. We're going to be like 90-year-old grandmas doing Beachbody for the rest of our lives. This is like the best thing ever. Success Starter just changed, Rossi. So they restart the clock. So as long as you've never sold the challenge pack before, you can still be a Success Starter. So, and I've only had one person that was like, dang it, I wish I had known. And I hadn't signed up as a discount coach, but now that they reset that, it doesn't affect people just as long as they've never sold the challenge pack before. And I thought I saw another one. Maybe not. Okay. Yes, and I do the SD tracker.
It was so amazing. And guys, like, I knew I was floored. Like, I was like texting my husband, I'm like, this was so great. So everyone, go figure out your answers to those questions if you haven't before you go to bed. You know, go through and like fully answer them and make yourself feel it so that you can wake up tomorrow as like day one of your business. Yes, it's just, what is the month? February 20th. I almost said December 20th. But just wake up tomorrow and say, today is day one of my business. You know, today is day one of a new mindset and going out there and just doing what I'm meant to do. So Ashley, thank you so much. Amazing, amazing.
Of course. Such an honor.
Yeah. I will make sure that I put this recording in access to everyone. Have a wonderful night, you guys, and I'll talk to you later. Hopefully we can all sleep, right? Like I'm like really fired up now.